Cowboy fans do it to themselves every year, and I don't get it. It's like some of y'all are coming around like, you know what? I'm not doing this year. Even my cousin Dion, Django just put Dallas down after a while. He's like, man, it's the same old stuff every year. They know you're gonna buy it. It's like being a Knicks fan. It's like being a Knicks fan. They know you're gonna buy it. They know you're even a little bit of success. They know you're gonna eat it up. Hell, Black bought a T-shirt when the Knicks got in the playoffs last year. He's been saying for years, I'm out. Now, as soon as they get the playoffs, I'm in, baby. And they just yanked the carpet right from my one more time. And I'm like, no, Black, no. I'm like, no, you falling for it again. Oh, nah, he's like, I'm in, baby, I'm in. You know.
You got
Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad. It's Black Thor, Icewater, and Puma. We have 3 shows this fall. So we have the First 40 with us, of course. We have the NFL picks. You don't want to miss that. And also we have the fight game with Icewater and yours truly, Puma. Let's start with this show, the First 40. And we're going to go right into the Lamar Jackson situation. Black, I'm going to start with you with this one because this brother just rejected a 6-year contract. I think we gave him maybe $290 million over a 6-year period. And it's not the top quarterback kind of situation as far as money-wise. But after I saw this story and I was reading this story, I'm like, I think this brother needs to consult an agent at this particular point because I don't know what else the Baltimore Ravens can do to get him signed in. Your thoughts?
Not that I take liberty in doing this, but I'm gonna disagree with you, bro. I think he's doing a hell of a job. I really do. I'll be honest with you. The only thing I think that he may want to do, he should have done, is not play. That's the only thing I would think that if he could have done anything different is not play. But I'll say this. When the story first came out, I think it was Saturday or Sunday. And you're talking about, let's say, I forgot the number you just mentioned, but they're saying 260. Bro, it's not 260. It's guaranteed 138 when it first came out. That's less money guaranteed than the cat in Arizona got.
Okay.
So now what you're thinking, what people want to kind of factor in, they have the big number. Yeah, it's 250, 300. Basically, in 3 or 4 years, if he wasn't playing well, he got hurt, he's not going to see anything above 138, bro. He's not. So to me, that's smart to say, no, I'm not selling for that. No, he's looking at, for the most part, I agree with him. If he's thinking this, he should be at 200 million guaranteed. I don't care whether above 200 million, all that's just fluff. Guarantee that man at least 200 million guaranteed. I'm not saying you got to go 230, what's the name did, but he deserves at least 230. At least 200. And if you're not going to do that, then franchise for 2 years, let him leave. Because once he leaves that franchise is going underwater. So no, I commend him, honestly speaking, bro, and having the galls and the guts to basically stand up for his own money and be his own agent. While a lot of these other cats run the white Jewish boys, let's be honest, and put them in charge. And I'm tired of people acting like he don't need to hire no freaking agent. He's learned enough, he's educating himself enough, and more black athletes need to do the same damn thing. But just know what your money's doing, know where your money's coming from, now you're getting your money. So no, I disagree, man. I think he's on his way. I just hope he stays healthy or not. In 2 to 3 years, even if they franchise him, somebody's going to pay that rascal a boatload of money. Boatload. So it's coming. And what they really need is instead of basically trying to jim and jam with get yourself a good offensive coordinator. That's what you need to get. Did you watch the game on Sunday? This cat was flinging that ball. When I say flinging it. Ease. So how about calling some plays where he can throw the ball? How about getting some receivers? But I'll give credit to the receivers out there on Sunday. They was catching the ball and doing what they're doing. So I'm amazed with, and it's funny because the story came out at 138, then it went to 180, went all over the place. And that's one thing about sports media, stop lying. Stop putting your own spin on these things, report what it is, or shut the hell up. I'm tired of this. Stop putting your spin on and acting like it's news when it's not news. Because it's more sensational. So he turned out, no, it's guaranteed 138. And if you took 3 or 4 months, then that's all you're going to give him. I want to sign that piece of crap either. I'm serious. 138? No. He is your franchise for the next 10 years. Pay him like it. If not, let him go in a couple of years or let him go now. Let him go now. Bring Hundley in. and see how far you go. Let him go. Because that man right there is he's selling more merch, anything else in Baltimore. Let him go. Please, let him go. You don't want him? 138? No, let him go.
All right, Ice. Is Lamar Jackson making a mistake by not having an agent to negotiate this contract?
Well, I mean, I think Blackthorn hit on a solid point, but I think part of it is too, the only risk I would say is because of the health. And you don't know, right? You're looking about your future and the health. But if you're talking about a marquee player or supposed to be a marquee player or a franchise player for this team, then I don't think he's making a mistake. The other part too is he won't say it, but he has to be thinking this. If he's thinking the way Blackthorn's talking about, he's thinking, he has to be thinking about what they have done or have not done to improve this team. He has to be thinking that from the standpoint of, yeah, you had some receivers catching balls, but half the time you didn't know who the hell the dudes were. And that's what tells you what kind of quarterback he is. They got 9, they drafted what? I'm exaggerating. They drafted 9 damn tight ends to go along with Mark Andrews. They got a strong offensive line and guys you never heard of. They're going the cheap way, like the Cowboys. Anyway, in wide receivers from this standpoint. But with that being said, you got a dynamic quarterback that's making things happen. They started off slow. Second half, he came on and did what he had to do, but he's showing you he's that caliber. So my answer is no. I think he's just kind of waiting to see what's going on. Because when you sign that big deal and then you do it for less money, you're going to be there for a while. If they're not going to help, you might as well get paid. That's what I'm saying. If they're not going to add to help you play on the championship team and you bringing in all these tickets and bringing all in this money, and you don't know how far you're going to go because they're limited in what they're doing for the talent that they're bringing in, then you might as well get your money. That's just how it is. It's like when you back in the day with the Steve Bartkowskis of the world, if he could have got paid $1 million a top, he would have done it because he was getting killed. And that's what I'm saying. So I think he's waiting to kind of see what's going on. So keep your options open, because right now, do you really think that team's going to the Super Bowl? I mean, or even getting close to it, because it's I'm just saying, it looks like an old team from back in the day when the 70s. It's kind of like when the Cowboys was playing. I know I keep referencing the Cowboys, but when everybody caught up to the Cowboys in the 80s, when they kept doing the flex and kept using them computers, and everybody knew they was running left. You running. There is no way you're going to tell me that, and I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong for these guys to step up, the wide receivers, that is. But are those wide receivers going to carry you to the next level? And everybody got tape on Mark Andrews now, bro. He ain't no secret no more. Everybody got the tape. Ask Joe Burrow. Anyway.
If you don't mind me jumping real quick, I want to say this, man. Look what Kansas City did in the offseason with the receivers, bro.
Yeah.
They lost Hill. Look what they did with their receivers. What is Baltimore doing? Realistically, something I heard this yesterday, because I brought up the Cowboys, and they talked to Jerry Jones and asked him about the backup quarterback, Cooper Rush. He said, I'm excited for him. He said, I haven't been this excited since Tony Romo was hurt and Dak played. He said, and I had to make a decision when Tony Romo got back, we went with Dak. Now, I'm going to just keep this in mind. People's got to say this too. If Cooper Rush goes out there and ball, Dak looked like, what Dak looked like on Sunday? Dak looked like dog poop, bro. Cooper Rush goes out there and ball. You think they're bringing Dak back next year with all that money? No. Let's get real. It is what it is. I mean, they've seen the Dak show, bro. We've seen it. High. Let Cooper Rush go out there and ball for less. I'm just being honest. So that's what I'm trying to say. And Dak got all this overhead money. None of that's, a lot of it's not guaranteed. So you don't think after that, if Cooper Rush goes out there and ball, let him run 4 or 5 games. Let him look real good, which I think he's going to do. I'm not going to say 1-4. I think he'll look better than that. Because I can go out there at this point, probably look better than that. So he looks better than that. And what do you think's going to happen in 4 or 5 weeks? Yeah. Or 6 weeks when Dak got to come back?
My thing is, you made a great point about how Kansas City got their receivers together. They got some young receivers, stuff like that. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, miss me with the receivers aren't ready. Miss me with that. You see what Kansas City did with their receivers. They got rid of one of their premier receivers. You lose a receiver, and now all your receivers don't know the plays. They don't know where they're going. Come on, man. Stop that. That.
Aaron Rodgers didn't even practice with them, bro. Don't get me wrong. That cat dropped that open touchdown. I understand. Rookie years, whatever. But this, I was going to call him an F word. This punk ass, Aaron Rodgers truly is a punk ass. He's a good quarterback. Bro, you spent the offseason running around with your girlfriend, putting your hair in a bun and all this other stuff. You could have got with these receivers and thrown to them and got them ready for the receiving season, bro. You chose not to. And yes, because you had to be a little freaky diva, take all the money, so you have no good receivers now. Enjoy your season, because everybody's going to put your foot up there, that ass this year, bro. Get ready. It's happening.
Let's switch real quick to college football. We hadn't talked about college football in a while. This was the second week, the second official week, I should say. And a lot of things are developing. Alabama is no longer the number one team in the country. You have Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State's number 3. They fall from number 2 to number 3. You have Michigan, Clemson, Oklahoma State. No, Oklahoma, not Oklahoma State, but USC, Oklahoma State is number 8. You have Kentucky, who had a great game against Florida. And you have Arkansas in the top 10, which you didn't hear. Notre Dame, who was ranked number 5 at one point and dropped 2. I'm really scared for the coach, Ice. What do you think about the college season so far? And what should the fans that watch this show look for next week, the games?
Yeah, it's crazy. Man, I tell you what, Sarkisian, I don't know what, he had one chip left and he played it last week against Alabama. He played it. If the Texas quarterback Ewers had not gotten hurt, they might have actually been won that game. But kudos to the backup quarterback from Texas, because they did everything they could. Defense played well. They had Alabama shook for a while. But I'm going to tell you something. The people looking around, I didn't really watch Alabama's quarterback last year. You know, I don't know he won the Heisman. Everybody talked about him and, you know, kept comparing to the Ohio State quarterback. I know why he won the Heisman now. I watched the last part of that game. If it was not for that quarterback running the ball, look, to me, he was a technician. He was a mastermind. Your team's struggling. You start running the ball, moving the ball with your legs, and then just start making plays. When everybody else struggling, he stepped up to the game, did what he had to do. Because I think the last play, they were like trying to make a play, and the Texas sent a safety blitz, and the guy comes right after him and grabs him by his jersey, and he'll lose him just enough to get a first down to allow them to go down the field and take the lead. The quarterback is amazing, bro. I was sitting there going like, damn, they're about to lose this game, until I saw that. So, you know, Texas, I think, is better than what people thought. Alabama's going to have to get it together, because Saban is like, man, we already know what's happening there. I'll say this too. Another team I saw has the potential to be really good. And I know people won't like it because what happened, how they did it. USC got a damn good football team, bro. Woo, my goodness. USC with the quarterback, transfer Caleb Williams. And if y'all don't know now, you better watch out for this dude, Jordan Addison, the wide receiver transferred from Pittsburgh. Man, they back there, they clowning. You ever know when you go like, you would play summer ball with some cats, and they say, yo, man, we about to go to the same school, right? We just gonna have some fun. I like UNLV in basketball. And then you get out there and things just come easy to you. I'm not saying they're gonna win the national championship, but them cats are having fun. Everybody's hyped up off of the energy that they have from that standpoint too. But real quick, I'll say that, man, Appalachian State, you don't want to see them, bro. Jimbo's running his mouth. You do not, and you should have known Appalachian State is gonna come. They're looking for victims. They're looking for people. You sitting there going like, man, you should have known they was coming. And I could go on and on. Tennessee looks good early at 2-0, but for next week, I think one of the things you definitely want to look at is a couple games. Notre Dame versus Cal. California is 2-0. Notre Dame has not won any games. Notre Dame, again, has not won any games. And of course, they're going to throw it up that Marcus Freeman is the first coach to lose his first 3 games. So, you know, the witch hunt is already on. Indiana versus Western Kentucky. Both of those teams are 2-0 right now. Looking forward to that. What other one? I just throw one other one because I won't take it all. But Michigan State is 2-0. They play Washington at Washington. I want to see that game. So I could throw it going on, but let you guys have it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, because if you get too relaxed right now, you can get beat, bro. Miami, anyway.
Black, we talked earlier about the parity we're seeing in college football, and no longer can you play the cupcakes and people are watching these games. But Jimbo Fisher, Texas A&M, spent $1.5 million to get their ass beat in a game they thought was a cupcake game. And now what Jimbo Fisher and Saban have been saying all this time about, they were kind of concerned about the parity, that a lot of these players that they're not stockpiling on their teams are going to other teams. Now, maybe these players, like I'm thinking some of these players were recruited by these schools and decided not to. So usually when you get kind of turned down by, you know, a girl that you really want, and then you get a girl, you want to show out a little bit and make sure that she knows that you're doing fine now. But Black, your thoughts on this, man?
Follow the money, baby. Don't be nice. It is what it is. Follow the money. The money has always been in college football. The money's still in college football. And some of these players are going where the money is, and they realize too, I don't have to go to Alabama and sit around for 2 years. Think about how many players went to Alabama and sat down for 2 years to be able to play. I can go somewhere else and shine, man. It's being sold to these players, and not to mention the money that's coming through the back door, and I love it. And as we said, you know, this with the parity, the transfers that's going on, it's allowed some of these schools like Appalachian, they've been coming along anyway for a while, but a lot of schools like them to put some shines on people, bro, and I love it. And that's what college football needs. I'm tired of looking at these Monroes, these LS and whatever, these teams in, you know, 40, 50 wins this time of the season. I can't even get excited about that. So I'm happy to see that these schools, even if they're not winning, because Appalachian State almost won the first week too. They became very close to winning the first week they played, but you know, that didn't happen. Even if they're not winning, it's allowing these games to be more competitive. And that's all you want. I want to tune on for a college football game. I didn't go to college. So I want to turn on for a college football game, have no money in the game, and basically see some competitive football play. And that's starting to happen in college football. I love it.
Yeah, there's some games that I think folks should check out. Texas A&M against Miami. That should be a good game. Oregon against BYU. I got to give it to RG3 and the other brother who was doing the commentating on the game the other night. They were straight up clowning, and so it kept me interested in the game. But those are two games that I think you need to watch out for. And also take a look at Kentucky in the SEC. Kentucky is serious. Kentucky is serious. To a buddy today who is a Florida fan, he's like, we just can't beat Kentucky. They got our number. And so they are making some noise. They made a lot of mistakes in that game, but they made up for it, and they handed it to Florida, I believe in Florida last week. Let's move on to the next story with Scott Frost, fired at Nebraska Ice. And he was riding high at one particular point in college football, got his dream job at Nebraska, and just dropped two. And Nebraska said, you know what? That's enough for us. We've seen enough. See you.
Yeah, well, I mean, coming out the box, he struggled a lot last year. Then they said, okay, we'll bring him back this year, see what happens. Made a huge mistake a couple with, in the first week with a bad call, trying to make just a bad call, making some things happen, trying to do too much. And that's why they lost the game. It was apparent in a very close game. Then you come back the following week and you are a Big Ten team, right? You're a Big Ten team. You lose to a team that's not a Big Ten team. Not only that, you lose to the team, you let them outscore you at home.
Yeah.
You let them put 40 plus on you at the crib. You let somebody try to put 47 on Ohio State in Columbus. Are you kidding? There's going to be something. And their defense was bad last year. Very bad. But you think you're going to let somebody come and drop 40 plus points on you, beat you, and the team that's not even in the upper echelon when it comes to conferences. So the writing was on the wall. They were like, man, we brought you here for that. We love you, your alumnus and all that. You keep coming to the keg parties, but we got to get somebody else up here. You're the coach of football. Where my boy Yo right there? Big O, you want to come here? Anyway.
Man.
Tell me what time to leave and what door to leave out.
That's my man right there, boy.
I'm just saying. So I don't know, but yeah, it was time, and I think they did the right thing by because the players are not responding, right? The players are not responding. When they lost that first game, which they should pretty much won, right, by the coach.
Yeah, against Northwestern, I believe.
Yeah. You had the opportunity to win that football game. You made a bad call, and then you come back next week, and then your players are you getting 40 plus at home in front of your fans, and then you lose, and then everybody's supposed to go on like, oh yeah, we really supporting Scott Frost. Nah, even if you go, I think they're going to move forward with an interim coach. The players will buy in because Scott Frost is gone, and it's not going to be great anyway. So you just got to ride it out and take your time for the rest of the season to find out a true candidate that you want to bring in.
Black, Nebraska had no problem getting rid of Scott Frost. And then guess who's on deck is your boy Notre Dame. I kind of saw this coming if he lost a couple of games.
I don't think they're gonna get rid of him that soon, bro. I know you kind of sticking on to what Notre Dame is, what you believe in, all that. I don't think that's gonna happen that soon, bro. Now it might happen at the end of the year. I don't think it's gonna happen that soon. I mean, he's got to be like any other coach given an opportunity. Yeah, they was in it at Ohio State. It was in that game. They didn't win. Now losing to Marshall, the quarterback. I don't understand how that a quarterback. I think he just got hurt, so hopefully the backup quarterback plays better. But I want to say this about Nebraska because to me, Nebraska hasn't been relevant for years, bro. And to me, for some reason, they got to find a way. It's bigger than the next head coach they're bringing in. They got to find a way to be relevant to these kids that want to come there and play. They're thinking that they can play and go elsewhere. And think about even when you look at the past several NFL drafts, how many times you heard the name Nebraska pop up? Seriously, bro, they're not going there anymore. In the back of the day, Nebraska had a name for football, and basically young men went there just because they wanted to be part of it. They went there and thinking about going to the league. Good players now in high school, they're thinking about where can I go to sell to get to the league. Nebraska hasn't been it. So you have to find a way, in my opinion, to build that program to do that. It is what it is. Just basically saying we're Nebraska, it doesn't work. It hasn't worked in the past 20, 25 years. And that's where they are. But getting back to Notre Dame, man, slow your roll, bro. Slow your roll until it happens. To the fat lady croons, she hasn't sung yet. She just put on her brassiere. That's all she put on. She's not even dressed yet. Give her a chance, bro. Slow down, man. Slow down.
The Weather Girls are about to get up on stage on this one, bro.
Slow down, baby.
He got two things that's going against him. This and an 0-2 record. And you lose to Marshall at Touchdown Jesus Stadium. You can't do that. And so some coaches will get like a half a year or something. Coaches at Notre Dame who look like this, don't.
We'll see. Like I said, the bra's on. But I look at it like this, man. They wanted him. The players wanted him. To me, even if you cut away from him, let's say you lose this week, you cut away your season, you bring somebody, your season's still going to be what's going to be. So I believe if he doesn't get a chance to turn it around by the end of the year, I think they might look to do different.
Yeah, because they were number 5 in the nation.
But they're number 5 every year, bro.
Around there. But this is the quickest I've seen them drop out of the top 25 than I recall.
I don't know, man. It's like to me, you kind of rooting for him to go down because you want to be right. And all I'm saying is this, man. He looks like the three of us. Let's hope and support him even through the rough stages that he can kind of get there and balance it out and take that university and do something with it, man. And it seems to me, I'm just saying, bro, based on what you believe, I'm just saying preconceived notions about this. And I'm not saying I'm not saying your notions are wrong, but it's like to me, you want to prove yourself right about that instead of seeing what's going to happen.
I want him to.
When it happens, I have that conversation.
Yeah,
but
I want him to do well.
I'm not going to predict it based on that.
I want him to do well. Personally,
I don't think
I want him to do it. Yeah, he looks like me. I want him to do well. I'm rooting for everybody black. But the situation at Notre Dame, been there, know some folks, hearing the murmur, just like we were hearing about the coach, and we'll talk about it in NFL picks, that their folks here is like, Denver needs to fire that coach today. For what he did Monday night. You hear worse stuff and some racist stuff with this coach.
Well, bro, I mean, I'll just say this about the racist stuff. Why anytime you hear racist stuff are we surprised?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being honest with you. Why would we hear racist stuff? If that's what all white people got to say, fuck them. I'll be honest with you. I'm tired of black people. Oh, they said something racist. Nah, come racist, punch me in my mouth, and let's talk them, bro. Because your word, we should be honest, let them saying racial stuff and that bothers us. Really? That's all you got? That's all you got? Racist stuff. Where's your racist stuff when Brian Kelly was there fucking at university for years? Excuse my language. I'm being honest with you. So let them say that, bro, until they basically run them out of town, then we have that conversation. Because my thing is, he deserves to have an opportunity, whether he gets it or not, to fuck up just like other coaches that fucked up with the Notre Dame. I'm being honest with you. And if you want to give it out to, don't even hire him. Don't hire him.
Well, yeah, it's really bizarre because Marcus Freeman, of course, is an alumnus of the Ohio State University. He went down to Cincinnati. I know Marcus, and he's a good coach. I think he just it's brand new, it's young, and no matter what you do, it's hard sometimes to get things for people to kind of come on board. And he's going to have his first couple weeks or whatever. We'll see. And it may be too late. I don't know. But I agree with Black Thor. You think you got to at least give him a chance. I mean, you got to think about what they did with Ty Willingham. You know, they quick to pull the cord on certain people because of this, as you said. But at the same time, like you said about Kelly over there, Kelly never won no championships over there, right? Kelly never went to the championship game. You know, he got maybe one, he got to one playoff. So if you win 10 games, even though they don't like it, you're pretty good at Notre Dame. So I'm not saying you're going to win 10 games this year, but if you win 10 games, studies have shown, but maybe the color will make a difference. But if you win 10 games in Notre Dame, they'll cuss you out. They complain about it, but they go, well, hell, we went to a decent ball game. Because you're still getting the money. That's why they have not doing. Another thing, too, I'm going to get out this real quick, make this very serious point. And I said this before, when we talked about the TV money and things like that, one of the main reasons why, this is just my opinion, Notre Dame will not join the Big Ten is because they know they're going to be getting their ass whooped every week. And they want to be the show. They stay with NBC. They got this little contract right now where they can afford to be out until the super conferences start to really form the way that they are. Then they might have to kind of join the ACC or something. But Notre Dame enjoys being independent, floating around, talking about stuff. And even though they may not be as good as they are, but they got their own station. But you put them in the Big Ten, even this year, okay, you won with Ohio State, but there might be 4 other teams that could get in that boo-boo. So you turn around, you got 5 losses at Notre Dame. We ain't doing that. We'll stay outside and play cupcakes, as we say they say they will. Marshall wasn't a cupcake because they beat you at home, but they'll play cupcakes so they can be comfortable and get them 10-game wins. That's all I'm saying. People not looking at that. All they're looking about the great Notre Dame. Notre Dame, you got some dog in you. Come on, join the Big Ten.
It makes sense to join the Big Ten. I know their basketball team is in the ACC. They don't need to be in the ACC. You're in Big Ten country. You need to join the Big Ten.
They don't want it though. They don't want it. They scared. Cause look, you lose, and the thing is though, the Big Ten got the money though, baby.
Money too.
And so right. So if you join the Big Ten, and this is what people don't understand. You look at the TV contract, the Big Ten TV contract that they just made, well, you know, with all of the networks, Notre Dame will make more money right now in the Big Ten than they would by themselves.
But it's so in the ACC.
Right, but it's so close that Notre Dame's like, no, we don't need to do that because the money's the difference in the money is not that great. But we can still try to get our 10 wins. I'm telling you, they do not want to look bad. You come to Big Ten, you're gonna look bad. So y'all better stay away as long as you can because there's a lot of ass whoopings waiting on you.
And they're going to have to eventually join a conference because these super conferences are lining up. But I think I think Notre Dame to me is selfish. They don't want other people making the lion's share that they're making too. So if they go to the Big Ten, they're going to have to be equal with other teams making the same amount of money. And I always felt that school is very selfish. They want their money. They don't care about anybody else. Give me mine. I don't care what you get, as long as it's not as much as I'm getting.
And I throw one last thing on that. I feel you on that, but the Big Ten ain't worried about them, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, the Notre Dame, yeah, you're right. They are selfish. But the Big Ten ain't going, oh, I wish we had Notre Dame. They don't give a fuck about Notre Dame. They don't. Notre Dame ain't win no championships.
Right.
Notre Dame might win a championship in ice hockey or field hockey. The Big Ten do not give a fuck about Notre Dame. They look, and they keep playing around. The little invitation that you receive is going to be revoked. We ain't got enough room at the end. They all went out there and got UCLA, USC. It ain't going to be enough room. And then now you got USC, UCLA, and Notre Dame. I'm telling you, they do not want that smoke, bruh. When you end up being number 8 in the damn conference, they want the smoke, bruh.
I'm going to go with this one with you, Black. I didn't even know there was a Hall of Fame until I started seeing Tim Hardaway on TV and Ginobili on TV. And I'm like, the NBA got to do a better job with this because, you know, you had a few people who got into the Hall of Fame and it wasn't marketed well. It was, you know, football season is here. The WNBA is around. I didn't even really kind of pay attention to that game because, you know, you had college football and then professional football open weekend. So the Hall of Fame, any players kind of stood out to you that deserved it, not deserve it in the Hall of Fame?
I hate to kind of go with the not deserve, but because the Hall of Fame now, I mean, every sport Hall of Fame, other than baseball, to me, makes it kind of a little tough to get into. Because I think Deion Sanders came out and said the other day, if I'm not mistaken, that, you know, they're letting people now in the Hall of Fame that truly don't deserve to be there. And I might be paraphrasing, but, and that is true. And I like Tim Hardaway. I like his career, but Tim Hardaway Hall of Fame player, no.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing.
I like him. Now, I'm gonna go far to say this. I like Ginobili. I like what he did with San Antonio, but does that make him a Hall of Fame player? I don't know, bro. Because I think for me, coming up, the Hall of Fame, no matter what sport that you was in, and I realize times have changed, I understand that. But if you was a Hall of Fame player, it means you brought something to the game and you excelled the game, you moved the needle. You just didn't have a decent career. And because people like you, time go by over a period of time, I'm going to throw this player in. And that's what it was. I mean, you look at a career like Lawrence Taylor, please, Hall of Fame. I mean, it was no question. You know, I look at Bob McAdoo, and I'm not sure if he's in or not. Bob McAdoo was an awesome player. Will I put Bob McAdoo in the Hall of Fame? Probably not. But I'm going to tell you this, Bob McAdoo was a much better player than Tim Hardaway, in my opinion. So I don't know if he's there or not, but if he's not, how is Tim there? So now I look around and I just think, to me, and you're right, the NBA does a horrible job promoting the Hall of Fame. They do a horrible job with everything. If it's not on TNT or ABC, they don't do anything with it, bro. They really don't. Look at that NBA TV channel. It's the worst of all basic channels of network sports. They need to do something with that channel. That channel was hard. I mean, you tell me all the money they're making, they need to do something. And we know what just happened recently. We may talk about it later, but they're spending more time trying to kiss LeBron's ass than spending time to focus on this league. Do something and market it better. But to the original question, no, I don't know. And I hate to kind of say that, but it just doesn't have no shine to me, bro. And to me, this is why I admire baseball. If you don't have anyone to go in, don't put nobody in. Every year, so you got to put somebody in. If there's nobody worthy to go in, go a year without. It's okay. And don't go find somebody old and beat down and that you don't forgot about. Oh, we put them in. No, we don't. You don't have to. If there's no one to go in, they don't have to go in. But these pity Hall of Fame people going in, I'm not with it.
I kind of look at Tim Hardaway's his career, and the only thing I can pull out of it is the Killer Crossover and Run TMC.
Yeah.
But I kind of understand why they kind of put Manu Ginobili in, because he was part of the dynasty of San Antonio Spurs. It was him, Tim Duncan, and Tony Parker. And so I understand that you couldn't do it without one of those three, and they were a very integral part of that dynasty. But George Karl as a coach, yeah, Bob Huggins, Dale Harris, Lindsey Whalen, Marianne Stanley, and Swim Cash. I understand, you know.
Bob Huggins for a while.
Yeah. I don't know too much about him. I would think that like the NFL does the Hall of Fame, where whoever they put in the Hall of Fame, they start doing specials and they start doing documentaries on, and they start kind of, you know, getting you kind of familiar with this person's career. NBA, not so much. You don't know these folks. You got to go searching yourself to kind of figure out who it is. So your thoughts about the NBA Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean, when you think about Tim Hardaway, you're talking about Run TMC, solid guard. You know, when I think about him, and he might have better numbers, but I mean, and I know this guy will never be in the Hall of Fame, but I think when as far as comes to caliber player, I love to watch him the same way, and I don't get excited calling for him for the Hall of Fame. And that's Rod Strickland. I mean, my guy, Rod Strickland was a monster, man. Yeah. He was a monster, but you never would see him get the love that Tim Hardaway got because he never played on them type of teams. But as far as talent-wise, I mean, pound for pound, he was just as good, if not better to me than Hardaway. But I think they had to find somebody to put in. You mentioned about Manu Ginobili. I like Ginobili, but I think they are on this big European thing, bro.
Exactly.
They're really on that too. And I'm sitting there going like, okay, I get it. You know, it's like, well, we got to put somebody in. He's respectable. But, you know, they throw that old adage where they go, well, he's American. He wouldn't get in. Anyway, but we can't go there. They going to do it. You know, it's like they like saying Larry Bird, if he was black, he wouldn't get in. Anyway, he would be the better player. But that's how they roll with it. but you can only go off of what they have. So Ginobili, yeah. A couple of people I thought I could see getting in. I did like the fact Swin Cash got in. Swin Cash has been one hell of a basketball player on the women's side. He's done a lot of stuff playing on the international teams. I like that. Marion Stanley, a long time overdue. She was around for a long time, coaching great teams. Maybe not have had a dynasty, the Pat Summit type thing, but she was very consistent. Yeah. I'm gonna say I think Huggins gets in because I'm from Ohio, right? Bob Huggins at the University of Cincinnati for a long time had some very good teams. They didn't win anything, but they were very consistent. He got a lot of players. I liked his coaching because he got the yeoman blue collar type cats, right? And I remember them back in the day when Cincinnati, he had some very damn good teams where they would battle Memphis with Penny Hardaway, and they used to give them the business. And then there was this dude that nobody knew, this dude from Wisconsin, nobody ever came to see. His name was Nick Van Exel.
Yeah.
Nick the Quick, that third round pick. So cats like that, he would take on them and bring it in Martin, right? Cats nobody ever really knew about. No All-American dudes, but they put their hard hats on and they worked and put work on. And then he goes to West Virginia, where he's from originally, and they start winning some games. So if nothing else, the dude wakes up, eats, breathes basketball, man. He is the ultimate guy like that. And he's won enough games that if you're going to put Ginobili and them in there and you talking about the coach, you might as well throw him in there too. Because it was an off year. And he's been around for about 40 years, right? Been sitting by the phone waiting. So at least they did one thing. They didn't wait for him to die to put him in. Rest in peace, Bill Russell. I'm just saying, they didn't wait for him to die to put him in, and they put him in. So the man been waiting a long time. You can tell everything's been going on. He needs to retire, but he got in. Anyway, I'll leave that there.
Just wait, put him in.
That too, white and from down Appalachia. Anyway, so a lot going on there, down from West Virginia.
Wow. Let's go to our MLB report with Ice Water. Ice, I'm breathing a little bit easier because the Yankees are up at least about 6 games now, going towards the end of the season. But your report, brother.
Hey.
Before you do your report,
yes,
I want to also chime in with everybody talking about these new rules in baseball and how you feel about it.
Yeah, I saw the new rules. I'm sitting there going like, okay. Something I think should have happened a long time ago. Because, I used to be a pitcher in baseball, even with Little League. And I used to hate, even though we didn't have a pitch count or a clock, I used to hate to wait, man, for the batters. They get out there and they, be marking it up, marking the plate, wasting time. Because when you are a pitcher, you get in a rhythm. I don't think it's going to really hurt the pitchers. So they're talking about having a clock where you got to pitch by a certain time. Right? I think it's great because if a pitcher has a rhythm, you just want to keep blowing people by. I love that. And then the other part is the shift where you're going to be limited in the shift, what you can do. I always thought they should have made that change because you putting all the guys over in the shift all the way over here. Play baseball. Baseball is set up a certain way. I know the analytics and all of that stuff, the numbers and everything, but baseball is, if you're going to put a certain guy like at shortstop, because the guy hits the majority of ball left a certain kind of way, you can do that, but they exaggerated, bro.
In the minor league games, they were doing it in the minor leagues. It worked out great. I kind of like it. It speeds the game up just a little bit. But my thing is what it really kind of makes the players look bad when they give you an open field to hit, and you can't, as a professional baseball player, you can't hit it where they're not. Right. So because I was always taught, you see an opening in the infield, you hit it towards that way. I don't see players doing that. They hit it exactly where, and that's good. To me, that's good defense on the team. If they know you're going to hit it that way, put your players over there. If he can't hit it the other way, then you got to easy out. But I always thought that it's a disadvantage to the defense because he has a tendency of doing certain things. Then set it up to where, you can get the easy out. But I think it makes it look bad for the players where they can't hit the ball, where it's an open field out there. It's an easy base hit if they could just tap the ball over there, and they can't do it.
I agree with that 100%, but we talking about millionaires, bro. So you think they should be able to hit the ball the same way the defensive players should be able to make the play. We talking about millionaires. These are $1 million players. We ain't talking about sandlot baseball players. So I agree with you. I see your point, but my point would be that too. That's what makes the game competitive to me. It's to the point where you got a position, you get ready, and just think about it this way. do you think we were really, and I would not enjoy this if they're allowed to shift like they were doing now, to see Ozzie Smith play that way? We would have missed half the damn great plays he made because of that shift. We would have missed it. The man was so amazing. He's like, okay, it's way over here. I'm not supposed to get to it, but I'm gonna show you that's how amazing I am. That's what makes it great. That's what makes it. That's why I said, let's quit trying to change it. The faster pitches, yeah, I agree with that. But the other thing, man, it's just ridiculous. But I agree with you. I see both ends of it. In regards to the report, in AL East, as you mentioned, the Yankees are up on Toronto by 6 games. You can breathe 2 more up. They're up on Tampa by 6.5. Sorry, relief. So everything's gonna be okay. Puma, you're gonna be okay. You're still gonna make the playoffs. Anyway, we're moving over to the Central. Cleveland is up in this back up in the Central on the White Sox by 4 games. Watch the White Sox. Tony Bruce is sick, and they don't know if he's coming back.
Yeah.
And they seem like they playing for Tony, or they playing like he ain't in the clubhouse complaining about
10-4 since he left.
Right. Look, he ain't talking about it. He ain't screaming at us. So we're gonna play some ball now. So you take that out you want to. I hope he gets better, but they're playing some hell of fire ball as they're moving forward. Minnesota's 5.5 back in that same division. In the West, Houston is just kind of relaxing and chilling. Dusty getting ready. Come on, Dusty. We need you this year, baby. Dusty's team is leading Seattle by 13 games in the West. In the NL East, the Mets have reclaimed first place. They're up a game on Atlanta. I think that's going to be an exciting division as we continue to move down the stretch. Both those teams, the Mets spent a lot of money to get that thing going, and Atlanta trying to repeat as champions and make things happen that way. In the Central, St. Louis Cardinals are back up on the front end of their division, leading Milwaukee by 7 games. In the West, I mean, everybody know what it is. It's the Dodgers.
Already.
It's the Dodgers already clinched. They're spending all that money. You better win the damn World Series, all that money you're spending. I don't see you and the Yankees in the World Series. I tell you what, I'm gonna write a letter and protest saying you doing something. You need to give people their money back or something. So the Dodgers are up by 20.5 games on San Diego. Man, that's wrong. Anyway, thank y'all.
The Padres really disappointed me this year. They really disappointed me. Tatis, you disappointed me, brother. Blackdoor, go ahead.
I know you're a Yankees fan. It's just me. I'm not deep into baseball.
Here we go.
But they don't want so many World Series. I don't understand. I mean, I'm up here in the Northeast, and I'm sure a lot of panicking going on. The Yankees sliding. Wow. I don't get it. Y'all expect to win every year? It's like, I mean, there's so many teams out there.
Yes.
I don't understand. Yes. I mean, it's like 1 year to go by, or you know what I mean? It's like, what? I don't understand. I mean, I can understand if anyone that has 10 years, 5 years, 15.
Domination. Yes. The answer is yes. Yes. We expect to win every year. Domination, man.
It's been enough money, Blackdoor. That's why they
us, none for you. That's the mantra.
I don't know.
Us, none of you. Just like you do in the NFL picks. All for me, none of you.
Let's check your score for this week. We'll see. I was curious, man, because I mean, I see that with a lot of Yankees fans. They ride that way, and I'm like, but damn, how many World Series y'all won?
We won them all.
Hey, so Blackdoor, when you beat them, you just so happy. Because I know was it 76 when the Reds played the Yankees and the Yankees spent all that money and the Reds swept them? I was like, man, that's what we talking about now. But little Cincinnati with the little no money swept them. And that's like the greatest thing ever. But the Yankees spent enough money. I ain't mad at them. But then you get other teams that make bad decisions. Like I was telling my cousin the other day, the Yankees, at least in the front office, know what the hell they're doing. Derek Jeter was doing it when he was doing his draft. He thought he was going to be number 1. He wasn't number 1. Right. Then he's supposed to go number 5. He ended up going 6 to the Yankees. And guess who had number 5, the 5th pick? The Cincinnati damn Reds. See what's going on. Anyway.
Yeah, but to truthfully and seriously answer your question, I think that Yankee fans have been spoiled. Yeah, we've been spoiled, and we know how a spoiled kid gets. You can't cure it. You can't cure it. The only thing you can satisfy him is winning and getting more and more and more. And that's the mentality of the Yankee fan. I can step back and see that and recognize that. it's like, yeah, okay, somebody else could win it this year. But you ain't settled until your team is winning. And the Yankees have spoiled, as an organization, has spoiled its fans for so much success over the years that now when you don't see that, and it's few and far between, that you just get anxious because you want to be on the top. And New York, we lived in that area. It's New York or nobody else. That's it. That's it. That's the mentality.
Well, they should try being a New York Giants fan. Or a Jets fan, for that matter.
Oh, brutal. The WNBA, man, their coach, man, she said, I'm looking at her press conference. Speaking of the Aces coach, our favorite girl who was sitting on the bench with San Antonio, and she sounded more and more like Popovich every time I see her. It's like that's the female copy of Popovich. Yeah. And one of the things she said on the panel last night and the interview last night is that I don't see no balloons going up, no streamers. We ain't done anything yet. We didn't finish the job. And I'm like, oh boy, yeah, they're gonna win this. As far as I'm concerned, her mentality.
Connecticut Sun did well to get there, to get past Chicago Sky. I was surprised that that Game 5 they went down Chicago Sky, but I'm telling you something, man. They ran into a team, Aces, that has been primed all season. It's nothing new. They had a little hiccup throughout the year, but Becky Hammond has taken that team, and as you've seen, take the mentality of that team, brought pop to it, and they're like generals when they're on the floor, bro. They step on that court, they're an extension of her. They play with this. They're playing with this kind of a nastiness, fear that they're playing with, bro. They're not taking any prisoners. They're just getting it done. And it's actually they're up 2-0. And I think Thursday night, they can probably put this series away. They come back to Connecticut. Asia Wilson, I mean, she won the MVP. This young lady, they were saying how she, in the offseason, she basically went and got more fit because she wanted to basically bang and take a bang and be able to kind of, and take a hit and kind of still get a shot off and last throughout the course of games. You can see it, bro. She has not sat down much of this series, and she's playing it on both ends of the court. And Chelsea Gray, damn. I'm sorry, bro. Chelsea gave, when this series is over, some NBA team should just pick her up. Just pick her up because she can give somebody a good 5 minutes in the NBA. I'm sorry, bro. The way she backs you down, fade away, the way she gets her shot off, and nothing but net. And again, she has that, I don't want to call it a dog, but she got that fear in her where it's just like, shh. Well, yeah, they're on the way to winning this. I mean, Connecticut has basically tried to do everything. Even last night, they tried to put pressure on her. They got back in the game a little bit. But offensively, man, this team is just too rock solid. And they're coached well. I mean, they're coached well. I don't know if Becky Hammond's that's going to lead to her and other people go to bounce back. If I'm not mistaken, there's a women's coach on, I think, the Wizards. Again, they're not being coached by Pop, but it's another women's coach being coached by the Wizards. One day she might make it back to the WNBA. But even with all that being said, man, I like to see, one day soon she make her way back, speaking of Becky Hammond, back to the NBA and be a head coach, bro. Yeah. Because I believe she has it. I just think that she has it. Being around Pop, she's put the time in. And at some point, some team should be smart enough and courageous enough to give her a shot.
Have you been watching the championships?
Yeah. I had to watch, make sure Candace about to retire. It's about that time. It's time for her leg, So, but like I said, the Aces and Becky Hammond is, man, I told you. Remember, y'all was saying, she don't need to go. I said, yeah, but go on the WNBA, get your money, show the world how good you are, and she's doing that. Kudos to her. And I know it's exciting about her maybe trying to be a head coach in the NBA, but sometimes you got to go where you love, man. I mean, the money's been the same. I mean, I understand the prestige a little bit more, but you don't see Becky Hammond crying, do you? Not she's in there going like, woo, we about to win it. I might win 5 in a row. Then what y'all gonna say? But the money's good, and the Las Vegas made sure they took care of her. She good with her family, and she like, I'm just trying to coach. I think sometimes we get so caught up in plaques and what we want them to be that she just like, look, my prestige comes from what she's doing, and she's proven that she's one of the best in the business. That's what I like about it. You go somewhere else where they tell you that, you can't coach here with us. Okay, well, watch this. There's a lot of teams that are struggling that probably could use her. And once she knocked down this championship and maybe win a couple more, then maybe somebody might give her a shot. And to me, I think she will earn it. Not saying she has earned it then, but there's nothing they can say because the proof is in the pudding as a head coach.
Yeah.
I think the team, honestly speaking, he was at the game last night, man. Sorry if I could, but
no, go ahead.
He was at Popovich was at the game last night. When Pop ever steps down, I would hope that he basically tells San Antonio pull her back and bring her in there, bro. Because she should take over for him. I don't know. I'm not saying who's on the bench. I know he lost the coach that's with Boston now. We should be with them. He lost a couple of people that's head coach in the NBA. She's put her time in at San Antonio. She earned it, bro. Bring her in. And Pop, I love you. It's time, man. Go upstairs. Don't win this and bring her on home, boss.
Yeah, and I wanted to add that I'm glad Plum was able to contribute because she's been having some rough games, and she was able to pour in 20 points last game. And I just always loved her game ever since she was in college. And it seems like every year I see her, she gets better and better and better. So I'm really excited about what she was able to do. Let's go to questions from the squad. Ice, first question.
Yeah, you didn't mention it, but I wasn't gonna mention it. I'm glad you didn't mention it. I'm mentioning it now. Are y'all serious? WNBA expansion?
No.
Expansion?
10 cities.
What?
No.
Anyway, that's my question. What in the hell is going on? Talking about expansion in the WNBA.
Breanna Stewart is seriously considering not playing next year, bro. That should say something to you. One of their top players is considering walking away based on the way she's being treated. She's won enough, and she's probably has some other things set up. I'm surprised, and I know I said this earlier about Candace Parker. Candace, go on with your life. It's time. It's time to move on. You've given all you can give. You basically, I know you didn't win it this year, but you went out strong. Move on. This league has no idea what they're doing. They really don't. How are you going to expand when you can't even basically fly your players to the games? Can't even get them there. You don't have enough. I mean, who's in it? You have. I mean, you have. There's no one in the stands now. What towns are you? If you're already in New York, you're in LA, and you're not giving people. What town are you going to go to and be supported? And it's ridiculous, bro, from top to bottom. Until you can build this league and get it stronger, no. And I hope realistically, and as much as I'm a big fan of it, and I like to watch them play. Hope some of the other players, some of these well-known players, the names of these other players do the same with Breanna Stewart. Walk away. Because they don't care about you. Until they basically decide to treat you better. They got no money to expand, they got much more money to pay you their contracts and fatten your contracts. It's time to walk away. You guys did enough. I mean, you women did a great job. The past 25 years, I commend you. You put something on the map, you do all the job with it. But they're not going to respect you, shut it down. Take your talents. If you got to go elsewhere, take whatever you got to do. Because they don't respect. And that's ridiculous. There's no way in the world they should be expanded to 10 more cities. I saw that and I was like, I thought it was a misprint. I really did. I had to look at it. Yeah. I had to click on it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I don't get it. I mean, it makes no sense at all.
I couldn't believe that they were going in this direction because I said, in some of the meetings we had offline, is that I didn't expect the WNBA to be in existence I'll give them 4 more years. And they're not being supported. You rarely find people at games. You can't find them on television. I don't know where they're getting their advertising dollars from at this particular point. And your counterparts, the NBA is not really supporting you. They're selling off teams. So to expand to 10 more teams, I don't know if they're trying to capture some of the players that are coming out of college that are not getting drafted and they're getting a lot of female players who want to be on teams, who could be on teams, and maybe they're going overseas and playing somewhere else. I don't know where they're going to get the money to support this effort, but if this is the way they're going to go, they got to do some really great strategic planning to keep this league afloat or to keep this league from not even after they get to 10 cities of going down the drain, because the way they're operating now, it's not going to last that long. It's not going to last that long. And I think they're talking about in 2023, 2024 in doing this. I'm not sure if it's going to work. So I don't know if it just smoke signals up that they're, this is what they're going to do. They're going to proceed with it. I don't know if it was a plan back 5 years ago, if this was what they're going to do. But this caught me off guard, and I don't see it really happening, to be honest with you. Ice?
Yeah, I see it a couple ways. I think with them coming out with this expansion that the NBA is like, you know what? we're trying to grow this thing because women keep saying that they don't want to go to Russia, they don't want to go overseas and stuff like that too. So they're going to add more expansion. And I think what they're saying, they're going to show you, and this might be the beginning of the end. And I hate to say that, but I'm just keeping it real. When you say you're going to expand to 10 teams, basically, I said before, I think they should cut some of the teams. I said that before. Now they add more teams. So they're saying we threw all the money in the world at it. We even expanded to 10 more cities, and people just not watching. So what you want us to do, keep losing money? I think it might be the beginning of the end, man. Because now, if you having trouble with people watching now, when you keep spreading out the talent even more, 10 more cities, I mean, what are we gonna be doing? The old Clippers? Yeah. I'm just saying. So the talent wise, it's gonna be crazy. So you're doing it now, and the NBA is gonna say, look, we did all we could. We put all the resources we could out there, and we try to make it work. We put it in different cities so people get the opportunity to see it, like wherever, like Nashville, that don't get a chance to watch it. And guess what? It just didn't work. And that's how they're gonna play it. And then you're gonna see it disappear. You heard it here first. I just told y'all. It's reverse psychology. We did all we could, put all that money out there instead of playing the players and cutting it back and paying your marquee players with that money that you're spending, right? To build the talent level, make better talent level. And that might mean some women don't get a chance to play. Everybody gonna be mad about that. But we know how this goes. If you want to make money, you got to put out a great product. And right now, the way they're doing it, they're going the opposite way.
Yeah. Black?
The story about the owner of Phoenix Suns, he's got suspended for a year, $10 million fine. You know, I know some people are saying he should have been banned from the league. And, you know, we're going to have different opinions on that. But I want to go a little deeper with this cat. And for the players that have played for the Phoenix Suns for the past 10 years, you have to call names. We probably could start thinking who they are. How do you tolerate this? How you tolerate this? I mean, because they interviewed about 80 some odd people, if I'm correct. So you can't tell me the 10 people, and Monty Williams, the head coach, you know, when they talked about when they're best, he said, I was going to, bro, I don't understand. I don't get it. Because to me, once you give me, I'll come back to my answer. But my question is, how does people that look like us, because the woman he went after, you're going to stand there behind the scenes, I get it. But these are grown-ass Black men. Why are they quiet?
Ice?
Well, all I can say is, and it comes down to the same thing. It's cash, bro.
Yep.
Always has been cash. And then, I mean, I understand the point, the principle of standing up, being a proud Black man and saying what you stand for and what you would not accept. But the same thing I said forever about the NFL, bro. African-American players. When that money and them dollars are coming through, you're like, well, you know, you got to stand up. I agree, you should. But when I see what I'm seeing, that's why I said the book by you know, the book $1 Million Slaves. It tells you, you know, you might be a slave mentally, but they getting paid, they're getting their money, and oftentimes that's all they care about. It's all about getting a check. I can deal. They're saying I can deal with all of that madness and that drama. I can go home and talk about the frustration that I have, but at the end of the day, I got to get my check, bro. Yep. Got to get my check. And then granted, it may not be from a principle and an ethics standpoint, the right thing to do that a lot of people would say. I agree with that 100%. But at the end of the day, you know, it's all about the cash, man. Dollar bill, y'all.
Black, you said something interesting about strong Black men. I think you're giving some of these guys too much credit for being strong Black men, because there's a big difference between a strong Black man and a boy. And so boys would accept that. Boys will accept any behavior as long as they're getting paid and feel like they're being compensated and that they're living better than most people that look like them. They're fine with it. They'll deal with it. Oh, that's just so and so. I'm just gonna go and I ain't gonna pay attention to that and get paid. They don't care about how that person looks at them, how that person feels about them. As long as they can take cash home and buy the stuff that they want to buy and floss and do all that stuff, they don't care. But a man stands on his principles, and a man stands when things get difficult, and he'll sacrifice that to be in the right and be valued and be respected. Some of these guys, they're not there. So when you say strong Black men, I think you're being very generous to some of these guys that play in these various leagues that we watch.
Yeah, strong. I mean, that's a good point. I'll just say this, realistically, I don't understand when your contract is guaranteed. I mean, we all work at places where we have no guarantees, bro. We don't. I don't know. I can assume none of us has a job where we have a piece of paper that guarantees X amount of money. To me, when you have that, that's what you fall back on. You have that, you have a union that can go to bat for you. And I can't imagine, realistically, if that's going on, has been going on. None of these players reached out to your union and said, you know what, this is going on. We need to do something about this. Take this to the league. It shouldn't take an investigation of 3 years. There's ways to do things. So you're right when you say about the strong, you're absolutely right, and that's the problem with us. That's the problem with us as Black people and Black men. That's the problem. Long as I'm getting mine, screw everybody else. It doesn't matter. And then you wonder why our race is where we are. You wonder why they don't respect you. You wonder why. Why should they? Why should they? Realistically, why should they? So don't come crying later that they don't, because you give them no opportunity, no reason, no option to. Because basically, he's giving you a guaranteed contract, and you still want to be a man. I mean, I can almost understand it if like you said, you want to buy these things and you say something, he could take away your money. He can't. On what grounds? You called him out for being a racist? What court is he going to win that in? So it boggles the mind, bro. It really does. And I get the point about the strength, but Black men in this country, Black men in these teams, we got to do better than that, bro. We got to do better. Just in general, we got to do better. If they don't cry when they don't respect you, when you don't force them to respect you. Or it's just it. Don't cry.
Ice, your last second shot.
Yeah, thinking about just, I don't know, but I'm gonna just say it. I've been wanting not to say it on the tip of my tongue, gotta say it. Yo, man, Jerry Jones, look, bro. Look, bro. Look.
It's only one game, right? So you're gonna go
down. It's 25 years.
Whoa, right. It's longer than that, bro. I've been down for a long time. I've been down and I ain't mad because I've enjoyed the rings. I know what it's like to sip the champagne, right? I know what it's like to sip the sweet nectar. But Jerry, bro, okay. We know you and Dak, y'all, it was a match made in heaven because he got hurt. There wasn't nobody else gonna pay him, and you needed him because you had nobody else. So y'all did that. But if you watched that game prior to Dak getting hurt, and I'm sad he got hurt. I thought he was really not that hurt. I thought he just kind of banged his hand and he's gonna be back next week, but it's a lot worse. But the way that it was stated earlier that he was missing throws, and you can blame the receivers not running the routes, but damn, Dak, for real, bro, it looked like you look worse than last year. He had the one pass where the man was wide open. It was like maybe a 5-yard pass. All you had to do is just throw it up in the air. He threw it way above. I could have made that pass underhanded. Like, damn. I'm just saying, to the point of, and then you did not go out and get any wide receivers. You got these young guys, you're living on the edge. Defense a little shaky. You had to go out and go get an offensive lineman that's 42 years old, and now he's going to be playing. Dude, it don't look good. It don't look good. I know the backup quarterback maybe, but to me, it's a wrap, bro. Unless somebody improve very quickly. Again,
y'all got the white flag already.
I'm just telling. I'm being realistic. I'm not mad. It is what it is. All I'm saying is, so Jerry Jones, do me one favor as I get off of this, of my short soliloquy. Jerry Jones, do me a favor. Make the phone call, bro. Quit BSing. Sean Payton, bro. Let's holler at you. You ain't got the house ready. Let's sign the contract. Quit playing. Let's do what we got to do. Sign the damn contract. Sean Payton, come home, baby.
All right, Black, what's your last second shot?
That was more like a last second 5-court press.
That got to be the longest last second shot we ever done on this show.
Oh, man. Oh, with that being said, man, I'm going to go back to what I said a little while ago. I mean, I know we talked about last week, it was about BYU, what they said, and, no one came out. It's the same old thing, bro. Same old thing. At what point are we going to be, we can stand up for us? That's it. That's my last second shot. At what point do we stand up for us? It may never happen.
All right. I got to jump on Dallas Cowboy fans because before the season, we hear every season, and I kind of turn it off about this gonna be your year. This is that we're all set, all that. They put you. Black said this years ago, and I think we talked about this years ago. Stop putting Dallas on the primetime games. Stop. It doesn't work anymore. They're not. They pull the ratings. I get you, because you got diehard Dallas fans who are coming around saying, you know what, there's a problem here. Here's some suggestions. Jerry, shut up. Don't do no more morning shows. Don't talk about the Cowboys. You're the owner. Just sit in that booth, watch the game, enjoy your beer or whatever beverage you're drinking. Just shut up. You're making it worse when you talk about like you're part of the coaching staff and all that other stuff. Make the moves if you're going to make the moves. Zeke, stop popping bottles in the VIP section. We haven't heard from you in 3 years since you signed that contract. Stop it. Stop hyping, and this is mostly to Dallas, and not Ice, because Ice is one of the most objective Dallas fans I've ever met. Stop hyping up this team. Stop buying the jerseys, putting the stars all over the place, trying to wipe it. Look, you got black crying. You got black crying up here. Stop doing this. Stop setting yourself up for failure. Stop putting your team in the Super Bowl before the season even starts. If you did that, you could take this. This is only one game. You don't know. It's a long season. You don't know what's going to happen. But you lose. I mean, you lost bad Sunday. I know it's bad. Like my first suggestion, stop putting Dallas on prime time. Stop it so you don't have to see that until that. You got to wait till the first 4 games to see what's going to happen.
There's enough time right now. Flex them out of
Thanksgiving with Detroit, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, right.
Take them out of Thanksgiving with Detroit. You know, stop putting them on prime time. I know they bring the money, but y'all keep seeing this, and it's hilarious. It's getting kind of like I'm feeling sorry for you to see your responses after a loss, all on social media. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. They should start a television channel for the Dallas Cowboys when they lose. All the videos and stuff. Just play the videos. Like they got ridiculousness on MTV. Put one on for Dallas where they just show all the videos of the Dallas fans tearing up televisions, ripping up jerseys, all this other stuff. I would much rather see that than watch the Dallas Cowboys play. You could tell me all you want about the score, what happened, statistics. No, give me that channel so I can see the results of how y'all react to Dallas losing in the game.
Black, that was the longest last second shot.
See you next time.